Yes. Welcome back to another episode of Let That Brew Quickly, where we try to, proliferate our knowledge about specific teas, these brews, highlight our penchant for these teas we're sipping, and try to really spread information about their benefits, their good bits and not so good bits. How they can affect us in a positive manner. So let's let that brew. Now, before we get into the tea today, I just want to give you a Let That Brew quote of the day. Now, today's quote is this: we tackle a lot daily. We make big and small decisions, each contributing to our overall outcomes. Whether big or small, let's try to make decisions which reflect where we want to see ourselves presently and in our futures. Let that brew.
RealTalkRiddims.
So that was the Let That Brew quote of the day. Hope that one resonates with you once again. We're all tackling a lot daily. We're making decisions, big decisions, small decisions, each adding up to overall outcomes. And like I said, we want to try and make the decisions that will reflect where we want to see ourselves, where we want to be. And we want to make decisions that we're kind of going to be happy with at the end of the day. Now, let's get into the tea today. Let's not waste any time, because this tea here, I wouldn't say it's special. I don't know yet. Once again, I haven't tried this tea, so we're gonna actually try it together. So today's tea is the Whittard Chelsea 1886 classic green tea. Whittard Chelsea 1886 classic green tea. Now, I've never tried this tea. It says our classic green tea has a subtle sweetness, hints of spring freshness, and a savory smoothness. Now, I really hope it does have a savory smoothness. So that's the Whittard Chelsea 1886 classic green tea, number 297 in their range, and promises to boast subtle sweetness and hints of spring freshness and savory smoothness. Let's hope that this tea goes down smoothly. This is number 297 in their range. They've got a few, like writing on the box, and like I said, synopsises maybe, or a few things to read. So let's just have a read of what they've put on their packaging. There's a quote here from the Book of Tea from an author called Okakuru Kakuzo. And this quote says, "Meanwhile, let us have a sip of tea. Let us dream of effervescence and linger in the beautiful foolishness of things." I like that quote there, of effervescence and linger in the beautiful foolishness of things, while we have tea. That's great. Now, Whittard Chelsea 1886 on the back of their pack says, when Walter Whittard launched his first London shop in 1886, his philosophy was simple: buy the best. It's a philosophy that stayed close to our hearts since then, driving our belief in quality, heritage, and innovation. It all started with tea, and over 135 years later, we're still searching the globe for exquisite varieties and creating our own innovative blends. It's all about making the everyday that little bit more extraordinary. So now, let's just kind of explore the aesthetics of these, tea sachets. Let's explore, how they're packaged. Let's explore the ingredients. So first of all, there's 50 tea bags in this box here. 50 tea bags. Now, once again, if I'm totally honest, it's looking like something you'll find in a Tetley box. It's definitely not a biodegradable tea bag. It's just a round, literally. Again, if you didn't know this was green tea, I don't think you'll be able to tell if somebody just gave you this bag and said, here, you know, make a cup of tea. I think you'll think it's a classic English tea, you know. I don't think you know this is green tea, you know. So again, bag doesn't feel great. Seems like, again, once again, they've just had leaves or, you know, the remainders of some sort of plant ground into bits and just thrown in these sachets. Now, I've taken the liberty again of opening one of these tea bags to explore further, you know, what is actually inside. And as we can see, you get more than the puka tea as far as the amount, but again, doesn't look great. You know, the actual contents of the sachets doesn't look great, and you know, I'm disappointed with teas like this. You know, the more and more I drink, the more I taste is, you know, the more my tolerance for these teas that claim to be super smooth and super great and blah 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 is the more that the tolerance levels really just decline, and I start to get, you know, a bit fed up with big talk pour tea. But again, I haven't tasted it yet. I could be proven absolutely wrong. They said they've been working since 1886. They said they aim to for the best. You know, they said they, you know, again, in the exact words, their philosophy is literally was simple: buy the best. So I really hope that this is, you know, buying the best. I hope they've purchased the best leaves, or I hope they've gone to the extent of, you know, really searching for the best tea. So anyway, let's get to the pouring. Whittard suggests that this tea here for one sachet is poured at about 75 degrees, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 55 to 75 degrees. The kettle's been boiled a few minutes ago, so, you know, I've let it sit for a while. Again, some green teas say 80 degrees, some say more, depending, I think, on the quality of the actual leaf. This tea here, again, there's no leaves, you can't see any leaves. So anyway, let's get to the pouring of the Whittard Chelsea 1886 classic green tea. So once again, as we can see here, the color of the waters has changed and been instantly impacted from the heat of the water, you know, penetrating that satchel and getting through to those leaves and causing that sort of chemical reaction. And we also can see that the bag has sort of made it immediately almost puffed. It's sort of like once again combusted, and, you know, the bag's bloated itself, and it's just, you know, made itself look like that. Now, whilst that tea brews, let's just get into some of the benefits of green tea. Now, I'm starting to wonder if, you know, can we say that, because we've done a few green teas now, I'm learning as I'm going along a lot, and I'm thinking, can we say that, you know, the same benefits are in all of these green teas? Because again, looking at this bag from the Whittard classic green tea, looking at this sachet here, it's not looking like quality leaf. Are we going to get the same benefits from this tea in comparison to other green teas that may use better leaves, or may source their leaves from better grown farms, or, you know, tea trees? So again, we'll go over benefits of some green tea, and we'll bind them all together. But again, I'm starting to really question is, will the benefits of some green teas be more effective when considering where they're grown, how they're grown, and who is harboring, or who is harvesting these teas. So quickly we'll run through some benefits. These green teas anyway are meant to boost brain function. They're meant to boost fat burning. They should reduce the risk of heart disease. They can support blood sugar levels, and many other sort of benefits. High in proactive polyphenols, which is a compound. Again, check out the Mouthing Green Tea review. Check out the Whittard Green Tea review. Again, roughly all the benefits are pretty much the same. They all pretty much do these sort of great things for us. In theory, we're always gonna be adamant to emphasize that these benefits are all theoretical and may affect different people in different ways. So again, what may be beneficial for somebody else with a green tea may not be beneficial for you. Now again, green teas do contain caffeine in them, so they can become, like anything else, if over consumed, can become highly addictive. You can almost have withdrawals. I tend to find myself really wanting some tea sometimes, especially a green tea, which is a sort of everyday favorite for me. Now we're just gonna, this has been brewing for a minute. I don't know, I've been going on. We're gonna run through this like literally super speedy. This has been brewing for a second. Now we can't there's no string attached to these sachets, so we can't sort of dip and dab the bag. So what we're gonna do is give it a little stir. We're gonna give it a little stir just to sort of spread the strain around the cup. And again, not looking amazing. Now if you take a look here, once again, pretty cloudy, not great. So yeah, not great at all. Not entirely impressed whatsoever. So anyway, we'll go ahead and taste the tea. No. Nah. Again, all these sort of teas, they taste so familiar. Please look back at previous episodes. Pulka tea, they all got this sort of, I can't explain it. It really just tastes like, I don't know. It tastes like what newspaper smells like. Again, even smelling it, you can sort of smell the subtly savory, the savory smell. But again, it tastes what a newspaper would smell like. It's no, no, we're not feeling that. Not terrible. Not terrible though, not terrible. Again, actually now the more I'm sipping, actually this is actually quite smooth actually. This is actually quite smooth. No, this is a bit deceiving. It's actually okay. It actually is very smooth. I'm not gonna lie. I can't even front. I can't even deny the smoothness. This is very smooth. Like, it actually is. Wow. Now I don't know but again, it's got that sort of soury you know, sort of aftertaste is a bit. It's not exactly sour, but soury. It's not great aftertaste. But as far as the as far as the experience in the consumption, it's very smooth. Very smooth. The consumption experience was quite good. I cannot lie. Initially, the first taste wasn't great, no. But yeah, it's very good. I cannot lie to you. It's very, very good. Now, I think it's fair to say that the Whittard Classic Green Tea number 297 is Let That Brew approved. I think we can approve it. You know, like we could literally scraping the approval. I think we can go ahead and approve it because, you know, once again, the initial first taste wasn't great, but once, you know, I had more sips, it literally became smooth. Like, as they said, you know, it says a savory smoothness. I cannot fault them. I don't know how they got that tea so smooth from the aesthetic of the contents in the sachets, but it was actually very, very smooth. Hasn't got an amazing aftertaste, but for the fact of, like I said, the consumption experience was really good as far as the smoothness, hence why it's got the Let That Brew approval. Had better tasting green teas, but it did go down quite a treat, and I'm happy. So yeah, Whittard Classic Green Tea number 297 is Let That Brew approved. So yeah, that was that. Follow us on Twitter, all social medias at Let That Brew. More reviews coming soon, interviews coming soon, more tea tasting, and yeah, I hope you look after yourself. And like I said, you know, big or small decisions, let's try and make these decisions based around where we see ourselves presently and where we want to see ourselves in the future. So yeah, this is Let That Brew. Quickly, peace.
RealTalkRiddims.